Why did you kill her? How many times did you stab her? Anything to say to the press?
Robert.
Do you feel sorry about what you did?
Look here, Robert.
Robert, what were you screaming? Why were you screaming inside the cell?
New details emerging in a murder investigation in the Bronx.
Murder of a young woman in the Bronx.
The Bronx, a borough alive with culture, history, and stories of people chasing their dreams. But some stories reveal a darker side, one filled with pain, loss, and tragedy. This is the story of 21-year-old Princesa Encarnacion-Soto, a young woman whose life was brutally cut short in a crime that shook her community to its core. On July 22, 2025, emergency responders found her in a stairwell, tied up and severely beaten. What followed was a chilling investigation into one of the most violent crimes the Bronx has seen in recent years. Princesa was full of life, warm, caring, and hopeful for her future. Born and raised in Rhode Island, she moved to the Bronx seeking new opportunities and a fresh start. Friends and family remember her smile, her laughter, and her kind heart. But behind the scenes, her relationship with her boyfriend, Robert Strother, was far from perfect. Despite the love and hope, warning signs of trouble were there. Signs no one could ignore for long. The apartment on the Grand Concourse was supposed to be a safe place for Princesa, a place where she could build her future. Neighbors later recalled hearing arguments and raised voices, sometimes loud and frightening. Yet no one imagined the horror that would unfold within those walls. On the morning of July 22, 911 calls brought emergency crews to the scene. They found Princesa tied up in a stairwell, bleeding and barely alive. The horror of what she'd endured was just beginning to come into focus. Forensic experts detailed the savage nature of the attack. Multiple stab wounds, severe blunt force trauma likely caused by a hammer. This was not a crime of passion or a momentary loss of control. It was a prolonged, deliberate assault, fueled by rage and anger. Despite the efforts of medical professionals, Princesa's injuries were too severe. She died shortly after arrival at the hospital, leaving behind family and friends, shattered by loss. The NYPD launched an intensive investigation. Evidence collected at the scene, surveillance footage, and witness statements quickly focused suspicion on Robert Strother, Princesa's boyfriend. But the investigation took an unexpected turn when Strother's mother, Naida Jorge, was arrested for tampering with evidence, accused of trying to clean the crime scene and cover up the violence. What initially appeared as a tragic murder case revealed deeper layers of family involvement and deception. Robert Strother faced second-degree murder charges as the Bronx community mourned the loss of a young life. Vigils were held, candles lit, and voices raised calling for justice. Legal experts discussed the challenges involved in prosecuting domestic violence cases, where fear and family ties often complicate proceedings. Yet, the case sent a clear message. Domestic violence cannot be ignored or hidden. The community's demand for accountability was loud and clear. Princesa's story is heartbreaking, but it's also a powerful call to action. It reminds us all to recognize the warning signs, to support those suffering in silence, and to fight to end domestic violence. Her life may have ended too soon, but her memory lives on, as a beacon for change and a reminder that no one should suffer behind closed doors. Remember her name, honor her story, and join the fight to protect those who cannot protect themselves.